Hello everybody. I want to have a little talk, I guess. Let's kind of preface with I got a collection recently. It was around 40,000 cards, I want to say. And you guys don't get to see my face in this video. I know you all love it. But yeah, so this collection was about 40,000 cards, all in. Most of it, like, what do they call what are they calling it? The junk wax? I don't know. Like War of the Spark era. Tons of stuff was just like print to demand era. Yeah, that's what I want to call it. The print to demand era. You know, original Ixalan, Rivals, War of the Spark, Dominaria United, cEDH, Aether Revolt, and most of it kind of tapers off right around Throne of Eldraine. I was about to say Wilds. So this stuff typically 10 years old. However, I did find within this collection a boatload of vintage Magic cards. Before we open up the box, so this is all. It doesn't really give you much perspective. You'll get there. We'll get there. So this is all revised. So we got blue, we've got colorless, black, green, white, big chunk there. Lots of COPs, which sucks. Reds, and of course, yeah, these. I like old cards. Most of the people that I engage with know that I like old cards. So I was really excited. And we got, these are 600 count boxes. There is 6 1200 count boxes full of vintage cards. Stuff from revised. I pulled out, you'll see later, but I pulled out all the revised, all the unlimited, all the Four Horsemen stuff that I found so far. There's a ton of Mirage, Weatherlight, Urza's Block, Stronghold, Tempest, you know. I still have to sift through that all. And lots of Ice Age as well. Big fan of Ice Age, one of my favorite sets of all time for the vintage era. It's terrible in most people's opinions because there's like 4 good cards in the entire thing, but that's okay. It doesn't need to be great for me to love it. And Cold Snap, do they call it the Cold Snap block? The Snow block, you know, Ice Age Alliances and then Cold Snap was like, it took ages for them to finish the block, but I just love the snow mechanic. I think it's really unique, and I believe in the long term they're probably going to make more Snow Legends, right? Like, why wouldn't they? Yeah, so lots of old vintage stuff. So I just kind of wanted to, I guess, chat with you guys a little bit and kind of show some of this stuff off. This little pile is for a conversation later. So not all of it is like super crazy or anything like that. You know, there's just a lot of nostalgia. But there is some really cool stuff in here between the unlimited and the revised. There's even, this isn't all of it either, but there's even some of the, was this unglued? I think it was unglued, because unhinged, maybe it was unhinged. Comment down below if you remember what the original set of uncards was. But yeah, so we got, there's more in the greens and whites and blacks. We'll get there. So what do we have? So this is what I've pulled so far for reserved stuff. It's not a massive stack. It's a decent amount. And I still have to go through this a little bit better. So we've got our revised, we've got unlimited, we've got our reserved cards, and then this is all Four Horsemen stuff. This is the Dark Legends, Antiquities. No Arabian Nights as far as I could see. That stuff was, as far as I recall, extremely difficult to get a hold of at the time. Even like today, it's so hard to find like the higher tier Arabian Nights cards, and they are very high in price for the single cards. And I did find like a ton of copies of Snuff Out, which isn't exactly vintage. That's kind of like, I guess, Bronze Age. Snuff Out Withering Boon, which is vintage. Pyroblasts, Red Blasts, lots of stuff like that. There was tons of it in here, which was really awesome to see, especially after getting burned on that collection a couple months ago. It's nice to get a W once in a while. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out my lighting situation here without going blind. So we're going to start with the, I guess, least exciting stuff and flip through the revised with you guys, and then we'll kind of talk about it all. Like revised had the highest print run of Alpha Beta Unlimited, and then they changed a few things. I think there's 4 or 8 cards less in revised than there was in Unlimited, just because they revised it. This isn't like sorted in any particular order. We got tons of COPs, or circles. Again, I just wanted to kind of discuss this stuff and like, I don't know, I guess I enjoy it and I want to share the experience with everybody. You don't get art like this anymore, really, in Magic. It's all, I won't say AI, because it's typically not AI. I think I need to just turn this light off, maybe? Is that better or worse for you guys? I know the shadow here from the camera is kind of crappy. I don't know. You guys are getting what you're getting anyways. Yeah, lots of COPs. Melissa Benson arts. Holy Armor, very cool. I didn't get any of the Unholy Strengths with the pentagram on them, which I was a little bit disappointed about. Look at the variants here. Or like, yeah, there we go. That's a pretty good example. So look at the Healing Salve, just the name between these two. Like this one's pretty clean. Hopefully it comes up on camera. Maybe it doesn't. The name on this one is really clean, and this one like looks very shaken. So, they didn't have their print runs dialed in. Healing Salve is part of a cycle from Alpha. So they had Healing Salve, Giant Growth, Lightning Bolt, Dark Ritual, and Ancestral Recall. So this was actually a cycle designed in Alpha to be not the first of its kind, because obviously, there's the COPs and stuff like that. But, so it was a 1 mana rate for 3 of something. So Healing Salve was 1 white for 3 life. Dark Ritual's 1 mana for 3 mana. Lightning Bolt 1 mana for 3 damage, etc., etc. And Ancestral Recall, obviously being a power 9 card, there's like a light argument to be made that these other ones are really good too. Holy Strength. Eye for an Eye. I've always really liked this card. Can only be cast when a creature spell does damage to you or effect does damage to you. And then it doesn't reduce the damage to you, but like if they hit you with something, you're able to just cast this and put all that damage towards them. It's only damage though, not loss of life. It is different in the rules. Disenchants, like Revised has such a high print run that this stuff is not really, desirable or rare, I guess. Some castles. And for me, this stuff's 94 or 93. I think Revised is 93. So I wasn't even born yet. So, I'm kind of, I guess, expressing nostalgia for something that I wasn't even around for, I guess, is the best way I can put it. I don't know, man. The artwork, it all hits different. It's like, it's raw. It's it's unique in such a way that like it's just it's unmatched, man. It's part of the reason that I love sorcery as a TCG so much, because I'm a big fan of artwork. You know, if I see a card and the artwork on it is really cool, like Paralyze, honestly, I love this art. It's so vibrant, and like the lightning striking the person, or the centaur, I guess it is. Is it a centaur? Yeah, it's a centaur. Where do you think they're? Never mind. Um, yeah, it's raw, it's unique, it's very different than what we see today. But then you get stuff like Weakness, where like this art, that's not it. he's, I mean, I guess he's like a decrepit old man. You know what I mean? But Howl from Beyond, more Paralyzes, Plague Rats. Imagine if this had the text like Relentless Rats or Rat Colony, where you could just have as many as you wanted. Man, that would have been crazy. Um, yeah, it's weird having nostalgia for something that I wasn't around for, I guess. Sorry, I'm just kind of making sure that I don't have any unlimited cards mixed in here. I just recently learned the differences, actually, like kind of all the, not all of, but most of the nuances. Frozen Shade. Should this have flying? Yeah, most of the differences between revised and unlimited. I haven't handled. This is the most unlimited cards I have ever owned at a time, which I'm super excited about. I am definitely not getting rid of any of these. I want to keep those in the little Hopes and Dreams, not the Hopes and Dreams box, because that's all fake shit. Psychic Venom, Terrain. I can't imagine Blue Blast, not near as good as Red Blast, but still super cool. I can't imagine playing in this era because I never got to. You know, like the earliest I played was Lorwyn, but I think it would be a lot of fun to draft one of these old sets. They're so expensive to buy a sealed box, but like to, let's say you completed a set, maybe barring, you know, like your Black Lotus and things like that, or duels, etc. But if you completed almost a full set of revised cards and kind of repacked them into, you know, team bags or whatever, and drafted that, I think it would be so crazy. Power Sync. I don't know what the yellow. The yellow has got to be like, it's got to be like energy or something, right? Like Unsummon, Spell Blast. I really love this. I don't know how many of these artists are still kicking around either. Like I don't, you know, Mark Poole, obviously, like he just did the artwork for Archmage of Emeritus, Emeritus of something. I don't know. I'm not really keeping up on new cards as much as I should be. Jeff, I believe, still does art with Magic. Schuler. I thought this said Shitler. I was like, what the hell? Anson. Dude, look at the colors in this, man. And the contrast between like the landscape and the, oh, so cool. Psychic Venoms again. Unstable Mutation. More unsummons. Life Tap. Gain 1 life each time any forest of an opponent's becomes tapped. Creature Bond. Phantasmal Forces. I think this is a rare. That's one thing I also don't really love about Vintage, is without looking up an actual set list, how do you know what's a rare and what's not? Like I bet this Island Fish Jaconius, I don't know. I bet this thing's a rare, but it's a 7 mana 6/8. You have to pay 3 blue during your untap or upkeep to untap it, and you can't attack unless your opponent has islands. So like you need where'd it go? Phantasmal Terrain. There it is. So like you need a Phantasmal Terrain, a kind of effect to even make the Island Fish work. And then it dies if somebody blows up all the lands. Like an Armageddon or something would trash this card. Imagine 7 mana trying to ramp into this. Water elemental. Not near as nice as the fire elemental, but wall of water. I believe walls are all uncommon in this era. Got white, blue, black. Let's do our reds next. And I think there was no multicolored cards. I was a little disappointed to not find a Blaze of Glory in any of this stuff. The Power Surge, Tunnel, buries one wall. That's it. 1 mana, instant speed, kills a wall. This versus that wall from Avatar is crazy. A couple trolls. The ogres. Big wall. 3 mana, 0/8. Like, nobody's getting through this thing. Wall of fire. There we go. Look at that fire elemental. Melissa Benson art. She. Is this her? Let me see. 1 second. That must be her signature in the top left. See if I can find a Benson card here. I don't think she has any of the blue ones. Maybe 1 or 2. Jeff's. Holy Jeff. Zanson. I'm sure we'll find one here. Oh yeah, look. There's one right there. Yeah, that is her signature. I wasn't sure. It's in the bottom right of the Timberwolves here. I didn't even notice this fall over. Oh my goodness. I have so many cards all over my study here. It's ridiculous. I'm almost all the way through the bulk already. It's only been about a week. Yeah, Fire Elemental, gorgeous. Earth Elemental, a lot less gorgeous. Some Warriors, Curd Ape. I saw a 420 post and a guy had an altered Curd Ape. He's like wearing the Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas outfit. Has like a joint in his mouth and stuff like that. Super funny. Minotaurs, more dwarves. Atogs. This was printed in Antiquities as well. I found one of the Antiquities copies. My brother is super into the Atogs. He really likes the creature type. The Djinn with a coin flip on it. Disintegrate. Love that artwork. Orniflame. Fire Breathing, an absolute classic. We're not allowed to show this card. It's banned because of bondage. Stupid as shit. This was like, I won't say when the woke era started like developing, because it has been developing for a long time, and I just don't agree that artwork should be banned in a card game. I don't think anybody needs to be that sensitive. You know, like, it came from a different era. Things like this, or Prattish Gypsies and Stone Throwing Devils and things like that, I don't think they need to be banned. Invoke Prejudice, like, it's literally a game, you know. It's ridiculous. It's an old conversation, but look at this. Look how nasty this thing is. I bet you the back is... Oh, yeah, the back's... like, it's definitely got some dirt on it, but it's not near as bad. Most of these are in really good shape, too. Like, there's a little bit of grime on a couple of them, but for the most part, they're in really good shape. Another Fire Elemental, a couple Laces, Shatters, and Stone Rain galore, and a Giant in the back. Tree Folk. Yeah, I don't know. I love this stuff. It's very cool. The Cockatrice. It has Death Touch, I believe. It's a 5 mana 2/4 with Death Touch that has flying. So that's really cool. Again, like, playing in this era would have been so much different than playing now. Like, it's so basic comparatively. Life Lace, Life Force, Wild Growth, awesome. Web. Yeah, there's another grimy card. The feel of this compared to Tranquility. I always thought this was super underrated, but it is a sorcery, so. Regeneration. Quentin Hoover art is... He's one of my favorites from the old school stuff. Look at that. Like, look at the guy's arm just being, like, actually regenerated. You can see, like, he did the skeleton hand, and then it, like, forms into flesh. He's casting on it. Oh, so nice. Giant spider. He's like going over the wall. Some sprites, tree folks, giant growths, stream. The colorless cards. I think I have a helm in here. Maybe it's in this stack, but we'll take a look. Thrones of Bones. So they had a whole cycle of the thrones, the wooden sphere. I don't know what the other one. There we go. Ivory Cup, Crystal Rod. Am I missing one? I think I'm missing the red one. Yeah, I'm missing the red one. So this is cool. Soulnet. So every time a creature dies, you can pay a mana and then gain a life. Yeah, it's too bad that I'm missing the red one, actually. Juggernaut, Crystal Rods. Yeah, Golem. There was one beta card in here. There was one Golem in this stack, the larger stack. Classes of Urza. This thing's like kind of making a comeback. This one's in really good shape. Yeah, revised being like the least, I guess, desirable of, in my opinion, I think revised is the least desirable set from the vintage era of cards. There's like probably an argument to be made that it's Homelands or Fallen Empires, even Ice Age. Like a lot of people just want it for Necropotence and like Pyroblast and things like that. And no Red Blasts in that revised stuff either. So now we have our Unlimited. We'll go over the difference after, but basically the same. We got a bunch, well, not a bunch, I guess, 3 Unlimited Red Blasts, and they're all really clean, which I'm super happy about. The backs, this one's actually really nice. This one's killer. It's got a little bit of surface scratching on it. Can I get it to show up? Not really. A little bit of a mark on the top. This one's in really good shape. Yeah, the colors on these are way more vibrant than revised, and we'll talk about it in a minute. COPs, some zombies, Bog Wraith. I didn't even have this in the revised stuff. Drain Life, Fear, Death Grip, Weakness, Earthbind, Fire Breathing, Shatters, Wall of Stone again, Burrowing, Orcs. We didn't have these in the revised. Some nice Stone Rains. Oh, look at that regeneration. I love that, dude. Tree Folk. Nothing super notable, I guess. Like, the blue and the red cards from revised over to unlimited, the difference is astonishing. Invisibility. Some Sea Serpents, a Twiddle. Flight, Golem, Conservator. What is this? Prevent the loss of up to 2 life. Ooh, that one has a big gash right in the middle. Right there, you see that? Brutal. Yeah. Oh, this one does too, actually. Rough. It's funny how much more you can see when these are like under actual light. Yeah, stack of unlimited. Like I said earlier, the most unlimited cards I've ever owned. I think I've only ever... I think I only have 1, maybe 2 or 3 other unlimited cards. 1 second here. We're actually we're gonna have a look real quick. This is the Timmy binder. I'll move this. And I'll move this. This is sorcery stuff, unrelated to Magic. They did a set called the Dragon Lord. Let's see if we can just kind of cover that up. They did a set called the Dragon Lord, so you get the avatar, which is the Dragon Lord. You get the Dragon Lord's lair, and then it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other Dragon Lord cards. I love sorcery because the artwork resembles vintage Magic so much. The game plays absolutely amazing if you've never played it. This playmat here is the Cursed Land one from Alpha Investments. Absolutely love the game. The grid style where you play your avatar and you have to move around pieces, and like it's got a degree of like three-dimensional chess to it. Oh my god, it's so cool. So unlimited cards that we have a Nesting Imp or a Nettling Imp, Raised Dead, a Blue Ward, and a Mountain. And then that's all we've got for unlimited. This is revised, reserved. This is revised, Rock Hydra. This thing is thundered. Got a little bit of Arabian Nights action. I don't want to go too far into this binder. I'm saving this for a different video. But yeah, so I stuck these into the reserved binder because the Dragon Lord was like pretty hard to get little thing. I wish I had grabbed an extra, but let's get back on our subject here. Oh, come on. There we go. Man, zip-up binders, I love the protection they offer. Like, if anything does slip out, it's side-load inside, too. But if anything does slip out, at least it's in there. But I hate how much, like, they really kind of, like, cheap out on the zipper quality. What's this? This is a Dragon Shield. There we go. Dragon Shield. I can't remember what they call them, but I like the quality overall. I just don't like the quality of the zippers on them. Yeah, so now that we've kind of chatted a little bit about, revised and unlimited, we're going to kind of go over some of the differences. Maybe help somebody out. This is just what I know to be true between the two. Don't know if there's any real differences on the back, but let's take a look. So I just grabbed a copy of each. Ooh, some dust or something on my salve. So the reason you'll find out why there's multiples of the greens and whites in a moment here, but so we can keep the focus here, we'll put these back. I just wanted to show you guys what I had. The blues are the kind of the same too. So it might be hard to show you guys on camera. So if you can tell, I'm sure most of you that like have handled this stuff often will immediately know the difference. So you can look at the colors, you look at the text. I'll try and hold this a little closer for everybody. So like you can look at the colors on the artwork. The more like vibrant, deeper colors indicate unlimited. But that's not always the case because of printing variation. Another thing you'll see is the text, the size of the text, and I don't remember if I grabbed one that said tap or not. I might not have, which might have been a screw up. Yeah, so another difference is anything that says tap in Unlimited, it actually says the word. There it is. So Orcish Artillery and Revised would have a tap symbol, but Unlimited cards all have the word tap. Which, pen or something, I guess. So yeah, you've got the colors, you know, unlimited, it's vibrant. Revised is a little more washed out. The size of the text boxes, the lettering on the actual cards themselves as well. Like the lettering on unlimited is a little more washed out than on revised. It's definitely cleaner on revised. Certain lettering on the border is definitely more hard to read. Another thing that I don't really see a lot of people talk about. Whoops, I actually just broke my pen. Something I don't see a lot of people talk about. So most of the time it's the tap symbol, it's the colors, it's the different placements of the text is a big one, which we can go over in a sec. Actually, here we'll go over it now. So on all these revised to unlimited cards, you'll see on revised, the text is very low to the ground here, right? Whereas unlimited, on the creatures it's a little better, but unlimited kind of sits in the middle here. Again, if you can't tell the difference just between the color, uh, you got to look for these other things. So the big one I was always curious about, because I noticed this in a couple of the unlimited cards. The only reason I caught the 3 unlimited or 4 unlimited cards that I had prior to this was because of this border all around the card. If you look at a revised card, let's see. Can't do the finger spread like other people. I saw a picture of a guy holding 4 cards with his fingers in one hand the other day. I was like, man, you must have Andre the Giant's hands. So yeah, this little border here, I'll get it nice and close. Just inside of the black border, goes all the way around the card. It's harder to see on the left side for some reason, and on the bottom, but hopefully that's coming through on the camera. Whereas revised doesn't have that border at all. And that was always something that I thought, like I've had those few unlimited cards for years now. I never really knew about the other things until recently. But I always thought that border was like the definitive thing until I, you know, started looking into it a little bit more. But any threads or anything like that online, I never see anybody mention the border. It's always the colors, it's always the text positioning, it's always the text itself. But without having like a side by side comparison or knowing exactly what you're looking for, the font is much larger on this, but it's in the text box here, it's much more washed out, or the border, sorry. So yeah, without having a side by side comparison like this, it's really difficult to tell for somebody who's not super well versed in this. So that's the flight. Blue Elemental Blast. So the border colors on these ones are pretty close together. It's a little hard to tell. But then you look at the Blue Elemental Blast, and it is quite different. Look how deep and dark the reds and the greens and the blues inside this artwork are. And even the character. Like, it's much more washed out on revised. Again, looking at the size of the text in the text box, how washed out it is, the positioning of the artist names. This one's floating, this one's flat. Mana symbol, there isn't a ton of variation on them, I don't think. Maybe if we got like really deep into it with the loop, with the jeweler's loop. And now, like, now that I think about it, like the back, I don't really know what their parameters are for the back of the card between the two. I think it's pretty much exactly the same. I can't see any real difference. I would imagine they probably tried their hardest to keep like variations to a minimum. So now we've got our howls. Left is unlimited, right is revised. The black border, or that border that I was talking about on the inside, much harder to see on the black cards. So with these ones, I only noticed because of the text box. Again, the only thing I knew of prior to, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, was the border. That was all I ever noticed. But like when you're scanning through thousands of cards really quickly, it's been 35 minutes already. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. When you're scanning through thousands of cards really quickly, like, you know, it's easy to miss. Sorry guys, I'll speed this up. Maybe we'll save the reserved cards for another video. Earthbind, again, the difference between the red, unlimited, and revised, absolutely insane. They were very simplified in unlimited, and then they revised it, and they were like, well, we got to make this, you know, like we got to put this in depth because people have questions, I assume. Iron Star, again, this is way deeper in the colors. It seems like the reds are much more red in unlimited, whereas reds in revised are really orange. Healing Salve, same thing, same kind of deal, very deep. That border is very prominent in white cards. And then we look at the Death Ward. So these ones are pretty close in border color, but then look at the difference between these two. Like you've almost got like this brown washed out color on the Death Ward border. I almost put that in the wrong pile. I'm cooked. And then the green cards. These are kind of hard to tell. Like the greens aren't as deep in the artwork, it seems. But again, you look at the text, very washed out on the regen and Crawworm. Imagine a 6-mana 6/4 just being like the biggest bomb you could drop. Yeah, so I don't know. I kind of wanted to just like go over the comparison to, I guess, educate people if they're not super well versed in these things. You know, a lot of people might see revised cards in a bulk box, and there's probably a bunch of unlimited mixed inside of them, and a lot of people don't catch it. I know I didn't for a long time. Do you guys want to save this? Should we go over these later? Yeah, let's go over it later. I'm basically just rambling. This is cool. There's a reason this is in the pile. This is the Serendib Efreet. If you notice anything weird about this card, it's got a green border. This is a blue creature. This is a known misprint. It's not really worth anything extra, as far as I know. Pretty cool that there was one in the collection, though. This is a revised. And then this monstrosity of, I guess I can call it 3 Horseman sets, because there's no Arabian Nights. This is not sorted at all. I still have to go through, but this stuff is so cool, man. The Dark Legends. Oh, this should be in the reserved pile. Both of these. My bad. There might still be like random reserved cards mixed in here. This Water Worm, I was looking at this. I was like, man, I really want to build I want to build some 60 card vintage stuff. Like, I would say pre-modern, but let's see. I would say pre-modern, but I don't really want the restriction, I guess. Like, a lot of the people I play with play super competitively, but I would love to just like grab a stack of this old stuff, stick it in repacks, draft it for a night with my friends. I think that would be fucking so cool. Giant Strength. Look at the print variation on the lettering on this compared to this blue one. Look at how choppy the Giant Strength is compared. Nameless Race, Abomination. Damn. That was my high school girlfriend. And my high school girlfriend's mom? What the fuck? Bograts. Savean Elves. Look at... Oh my god, dude. This stuff's so fucking cool. I don't know how to articulate how much I fucking love old cards without geeking out like a little schoolgirl. It's ridiculous. Look at this, man. Like, you think they're gonna make artwork like this anymore with half-naked chicks? Like, she's wearing nothing but spider webs. The purity of magic can only come from purity of the land. How can a meal nourish if the ingredients are spoiled? Oh, Oh, so cool. The scavenger folk. And a lot of people in like the hobby space, I've I'm a big fan of alpha investments. If you hate that, whatever. I don't fucking care. If you love it, that's great too. I don't fucking care if you love it or hate it, or if you love that I love it. It doesn't matter to me. It makes no difference. But, he talks about how a lot of people in this hobby space, in TCGs in general, their average like lifespan in this stuff is 6 to 12, sometimes 18 months. And a lot of people just don't stick around in cardboard because it's a labor of love for like people trying to make money with it and stuff like that. Not so much these days. Everything can be like flipped quickly and easily, it seems. You buy a collector box, you wait 2 months, and then you flip it for a 217% return. Not actually, but I think the new people that are in the hobby, they wouldn't be able to appreciate this stuff, Get the Sylvain. Like somebody that's new to the hobby would see these artworks, like the scavenger folk there, and be like, "What the fuck is this?" But Whirling Dervish, Cat Warriors, some more plants. Oh, we can't show that. Another band card. The Cobra. Emerald Dragonfly, love this. More Quentin Hoover once again. Douglas. The Blacksmith. Vultures. I think I've got a couple more of these in my binder too. Keepers. A lot of these are just commons. They were reprinted. These are not necessarily reserved list, but the originals in the Four Horsemen set are difficult to find, so I like to keep them set aside. Active Volcano. Glyphs. Backdraft. Does half the damage rounded down, done by one sorcery cast this turn to the caster. That's okay, but because it's only sorcery, it's so narrow nowadays. Target creature gets 4/4. Or +4, -4. Okay. Marsh Gas. Hellswarm. Chris Rush, man. Edward Beard Jr. This is the artist that did everything in the Dragon Lord set for sorcery. It's really cool. I don't think he does much for Magic anymore. I could be wrong about that. Apocalypse Chime. That's a Homelands reserved card. Again, these are, just random reserved cards that are in here. Urza's Chalice. Phyrexian Portal. That's gotta move. Amulet. Shield Sphere. Furnace. Oh my god. I definitely should have sorted this stuff before I started this video, but that's okay. Coal Golem. Again, Chris Rush. Absolutely infamous. Rest in peace. Barl's Cage. Staff of Zegnon. Mark Poole. Avoid Fate. Phil Foglio. I don't know if he does anything anymore either. Deadfall. Cocoon. Mark Teeden. Mark Teeden's an awesome artist from this era. So apparently this is called Arathi Berserker. I looked it up on Face to Face the other day, but I couldn't find it when I typed in Rathi Berserker. I have no idea if this is a misprint. I don't think so, because again, look at the variance on the lettering. Look at that variance. It's crazy, man. Like this was before they had their print runs dialed in and stuff like that. But excuse me. Effigies. There's my OG Atog. I was going to give this to my brother because he's really into the Atogs, like I said, but the Beasts of Bogarden, I love this art, man. This is so cool. And it gets a +1, so it's a 5 mana, pro red, 4/4 if your opponent has any white cards. Wall of Heat, Rock Sleds, Taskmaster, good old Kobolds, Dwarven Pony, we can set that aside. The Leprechaun, Whippoorwill, I like this. This is really cool. Giant Turtle. 3 mana 2/4? This is sick. But it can't attack if it attacked on your last turn because he's a turtle. He's slow. Tree Folk. That's cool. Amy Weber. Apes. 2 mana 2/2. Good Rage. Pixies again. Moss Monster. Look at that. Chain Lightning, OG Chain Lightnings. I think there might be one more. I might have a full playset. I was I was honestly amazed to find this stuff in that collection. I was very, very surprised that there was this much old stuff in a large collection like that. I was under the impression that he was just a modern collector. Siphon Soul, that's a Melissa Benson. You definitely tell the printer was kind of yucked up on that one. Goblins. Dark Heart of the Wood. I was looking at this the other day. I like this card a lot. This is super cool. Sacrifice a forest to gain 3 life. This is something that I would play in my modern day commander decks. A 2-mana enchant that just like lets you murk shit. Brian Snoddy, remove enchantment. Iconic artwork. Heaven's Gate. I've never seen this before. Before like picking it up. Picking the collection up, I should say. Changes the color of one or more target creatures to white. Choose which and how many creatures are affected. Okay. Divine Offering. That's pretty good. Redirect any damage done to yourself to any number of creatures. Oh, okay. So you pay 3 white, and then instead of your creatures taking damage, you take the damage. So you can kind of like protect your creatures till the end of turn. Equinox. Oh man, this artwork. I really love like heavy contrast colors. This is so nice. Like oftentimes when I see an artwork, I enjoy it more personally if it kind of like represents some form of duality. I don't know why, but it's just like something that tickles my fancy. Fasting, Quagmire, Giggity. Festivals, whole bunch of those. Yeah, we're gonna save the reserve stack for another video, which is fine. I like putting out content once in a while. Got some Words of Binding. Spirit Shackle, Ed Beard Jr. once again, phenomenal artist. Artifact Possession, Chris Rush. He had such a unique like cartoonish style, I guess, is a good way to put it. But then you look at cards like Black Lotus, and it's very different compared to his normal, I guess, artwork. Putting this... Is Basalt Monolith a continuous artifact? I don't know. There it is. That's our 1 beta card for the entire Sombitch. I have not handled... This is my 2nd beta card I have ever owned. I have a Dredge Skeletons, which, like, Golem and Skeletons are, like, the lowest of the low in terms of alpha beta. This one is obviously... The back's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. I have not handled enough alpha beta to tell you about this stuff yet. I hope that one day in the future I'll be able to grab an alpha card, grab an alpha golem and a beta golem and be like, yep, this one's beta and this one's alpha, but right now is not the time. I'm just excited to have this stuff. Brainwash, more folks, grape shots, weaponries. The Bone Flute. I got a Bone Flute for you, if you know what I'm saying. Reconstruction. This is interesting. Just learned this the other day. I believe this is the only card in Antiquities that doesn't have the symbol. This is an Antiquities card. I'm a big fan of this. Bring 1 artifact from your graveyard to your hand. If I played an artifact, I would play this in modern day Magic, like Commander. I really love this effect. I like the artwork. I love that it's like just this skeleton being reassembled. Super cool. Psychic Purge, Tangle Kelp, Spheres, Tablets, Clays, Living Armor. Used to love this card in Kitchen Table Magic. Touch of Darkness. Susan Van Camp, Transmutation. Dark Heart of the Woods. So this is a Chris Rush card as well, right? Like this artwork style compared to that Artifact Possession. It's just so cool how much range he had. Mark Poole again, Richard, Orc General, Glyph, Crumble. Love this card. I play this in not every green deck that I build, but I do play it in a lot of green decks that I build. Subdue, Rust. This is just like a green stifle, actually, which is so cool. Venom, Boomerang, Fiends. This shouldn't be here. 3 Fiends. Wall of Shadows, Hydroblast. That's not reserved. This is Ice Age, actually. This is going to go up here with that Pyroblast. It's not reserved, and it's not 4 Horsemen stuff. Remove Soul. Riptides. Yeah, why is there so many of these? Goodness. Move those over. Visions. Love that Japanese artwork. Giant Slug. Bograt, Smirk Dwellers. More Ed Beard Jr. stuff. Waterworm. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's cool, man. I like this old stuff. I didn't mean for this video to be almost an hour long, but some people seem to like them. Other people, not so much. That's okay. I don't really care. Excuse my water drinking sounds. I like to stay hydrated. Yeah, I just wanted to showcase this stuff with you guys. Kind of go through it. And the main thing I wanted to do was kind of educate people on the difference between unlimited and revised. We will do this little pile of cards for another video, I think. Maybe I'll find some more in the vintage bulk that I have sitting in the boxes behind me. Yeah. Excuse me. Whoa. I appreciate you guys watching. For anybody that stuck around for 52 and a half minutes, thank you so much. The Patreon's going well. I put up a new tier about a month ago so that people can get free entry into the Legends of the Lair tournament once a month. So if you buy in at the Scion of the Lair tier, you get 3 pack entries. You get the free tournament, 3 pack entries to win a free pack. You get the tournament entry, which is like a $20 Canadian value in itself. So like the sub pays for 4/5 of itself right there, especially if you're like tournament grinding for prizing. You know, you can kind of cover your cost on the Patreon. And we are also going to shift the free tournament. I tried to host one. The free tournament didn't fire in March. Are we April now? Yeah, in March it didn't fire, which is okay. I didn't have any incentives or prizing or anything like that. So what I'm going to do moving forward is the top 4 of the free tournament are actually going to get free entry into the Legends of the Lair. So I'll host the free tournament first, and then the Legends of the Lair probably the following week or 2 weeks after, 2 weekends after, kind of thing. And the top 4 from the free tournament will get entry into the Legends of the Lair. So that way it kind of incentivizes people to join. I want to expand cEDH within my own community and like reach out to other communities and help my channel and my thing grow. As greedy as it sounds, you know, that's why I'm here. I'm wanting to eventually become a store, or an entity, I guess, bigger than what I am now. It takes time, and it does take a lot of like building. It's going to be a long grind, but that's okay. That's part of the reason I'm here. So yeah, that'll be a cool little thing moving forward. I have tons of scheduled cEDH games for the channel coming up. I need to get back to editing for Haunted Vessel. Their video is about 40% done. I gotta finish game 2 and then just slap in card images and then I can upload it. So sorry, Jake and David. I know it's been like 2 weeks. I've been slammed busy. My kids have been like off and on sick because it's spring and stuff like that. But what else is going on? Thank you so much to my Patreons, Johnny Strange, Papa John, Rush Too Much, Riley Buck, and Young Padawan Welder. You guys, it's crazy that the people I've known for the longest, I always hear that the people that you've known the longest aren't going to support your vision. They're only going to support the past versions of you. So you guys being my friends, I truly appreciate the support. It helps me continue to do what I do. Anybody that's following me on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch or Instagram, please, if you take 5 minutes of your day, follow me on the other platforms as well. Facebook is kind of what I want to drive, as well as YouTube. I know YouTube has like the most reach at this current time, though Facebook actually helps supplement the income. My goal eventually is to have the social media pay for the pack rips and for me to get like collections like this so that I can sell the singles and stuff like that. That is kind of the long term goal with monetizing on the platforms. And then eventually, you know, maybe I get big enough to the point where it can kind of take off and I can expand and grow and, you know, make my dream of opening up a store become real life. And then I've got this online community developed that hopefully I can kind of bring into myself. I know people have done this in the past. There is a formula, and the formula does work. It's just going to take time. So, yeah, thank you all so much for hanging out in Timmy's Lair. Truly appreciate you. And we'll see you next time. Like I said, we will do a video on these reserved cards. I'm certain that there's more in these boxes. Like I said, there's probably another 5,000 vintage cards for me to go through. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful whatever day you watch this is. Oh my god, I butchered that. Have a beautiful day. Whether it's April 29th or if it's 20 years in the future. Thanks again for hanging out in Timmy's Lair.